Holy Tino! Okay, so I'm going to be doing a quick reaction video. Usually, I said I would react to part 3. I might make a more detailed reaction later, because I might have some stuff to talk about. But for now, it's just a quick bare bones reaction, just on the day of. But before we get into that, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you have unhealthy coping mechanisms about a certain traumatic event in your life, especially ones that happened in April, you may need therapy. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Please, don't be afraid to seek help. BetterHelp has plenty of professionals that deal with all sorts of coping mechanisms and find one that works right for you. Anyway, now for the actual real sponsor, my family business, Fuji Bear. If you have a kid, like a baby, then consider getting some of the best formula on the market. So that's link will be in the description. Okay, sponsors out of the way. That was an incredible episode, and I tweeted out that Aaron's confession scene was going to be more explicit. It wasn't. I mean, it was kind of. He said, but there's more to that. I guess that's sort of. I guess it's sort of more explicit than last time, but I mean, it was great. I mean, I was kind of disappointed the OST they used. I was expecting something, better. Of course, we were all expecting. I don't know how to pronounce the name of it, but the bird in the cage. I wanted Elo. And speaking of Elo, we didn't get Elo or Into the Night for any of this, so maybe it's gonna be for Core 2, or maybe. Again, I always thought of Into the Night as an alliance, as the alliance theme. Again, I could be completely mistaken. But the big thing I really want to talk about was the two things we talked about last time, which is See You Later and Under the Tree. Under the Tree, visuals were extremely vague, but yeah, it looks like I heard theories. It's about Mikas's POV walking to the tree to bury Eren. So that's cool. So yeah, and of course we got the tree at the end of 139, which should be the end of AoE. However, that was not even the main focus on AoE. The main focus on the AoE was indeed the beginning of the episode, which I was told Hope Chats knew for certain it was going to be. For certain it was going to be the beginning of the episode. Now, again, I don't delete tweets. I don't delete Discord messages. I don't believe in that. I don't like acting smarter than I actually am. To this day, I there's still a tweet up that says that I was like I was confused when I changed the Ramsey scene at night. They didn't change it tonight. It was always at night. But if you look and see, I'm not changing my mind at all. It was possible to be the beginning of the episode. I just said we didn't have enough information. And lo and behold, I was right. The episode opened up not with 138, but with See You Later. Oh man, I couldn't tell you how happy I was to see that. See you later, Eren. Mappa finally rectified Wit's greatest sin. Wit has cut so much stuff, and honestly, Mappa has too. This happens to studios. That's why it's important to watch both mediums. Both of them add and subtract, have additions and subtractions. But See You Later got added in. So excited. This is really the thing that was bad about one of the worst things about season 1 was that it was not in there, but now it's in there, and it's really nice, and it's it's not sentimental to anime only, but to me it's sentimental because I remember reading that for years and years, and trying to see what it meant, and yada 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 yada. As for the more technical stuff, I thought the composition, I'm still learning what that word means. The composition looked really nice to me. I love the skies that they did. That was really cool. And the fire and the rumbling, Mappa really beefed up the rumbling. Like we were all, I mean, I remember reading the rumbling years ago, and I was like, oh, I wonder how Mappa's going to adapt this. Not Mappa, but I was wondering how they were going to adapt it. And it looks like they went above and beyond. So high five to Mappa. I mean, I don't get into these studio wars. I think both have benefits and drawbacks. I mean, I can say I prefer Wit over Mappa, but Mappa's doing an excellent job. And speaking of Wit, the Hanji death scene, that was that was peak. That was great. Like I was like, wait, is that you? Is that you? Wit? It wasn't Wit. It was Mappa. That was an incredible job there. I mean, it was yeah. They beefed that up. They beefed that up for sure. It was quite the spectacle. Quite the spectacle it was. Um, I haven't watched any anime onlys yet, but I wonder how they're gonna react to that. And of course, the last Shinzo was Saikyo. That I mean that hit obviously really hard. And one more thing before I wrap up is the 137 referencing again. And this is why people keep asking me, Beluga, you were a doomer, and then you were 50-50, now you were a doomer again. What's going on? And it was a lot of things. The PV, which I told you guys, or see you later. See, the thing about me, I'm going off on a tangent here, but the thing about me is that I try to be completely and totally unbiased. I hope everyone understands. I hope everyone here has experienced how fair I've been with their arguments. Maybe I haven't been perfect, but I think I've been one of the fairest, most objective, unbiased people around. This is why I'm able to see flaws in Mikasa that Mikasa's fans can't see. This is why I'm able to see things in Flocky people can't see. This is why I can see the evil Aaron people can't see, because I'm completely unbiased. That being said, when I saw the PV, I said, "That's see you later." I'm sorry, I'm being unbiased. That's most likely see you later. That's what got me dooming the most. But besides that, it was a slow trickle of 137 references. The key visual. Why the 137 race? Why? The 137 race was put in again in 130. 88. The last episode before the episode beforehand, Dawn of Humanity. It was put in there again. And then yet again in 133. It was so cool. My brother can tell you this, but we were watching it, and you're running towards Aaron, and Mikasa was in the front of the pack. Armin was behind her. And I was like, oh, it's kind of like 137. And exactly after I said that, what happens? Boom. 137 flashback. Anime only 137 flashback. Now again, Hope Chads have this, it's an infinite cope. It can be used anywhere. It's X characters remembering past timelines. Oh, see you later? Past timeline. Oh, memory of 137? Oh, past timeline. Anything that correlates to the manga is just a past timeline. So we'll wait with bated breath. We'll wait. But to me, and I'm not talking about 137 just to dunk an AOE, bro. I'm saying like it's interesting. Like, I talked to Rob about this, and he said that they're trying to emphasize that message more, perhaps. But I think it's really interesting that they're dedicating all this time to 137. And to me, I mean, I'm not a professional, but to me, it appears as though 137 is the climax of the story, of the entire story. It's the climax of everything. The main theme, the character arcs, blah blah blah. Well, not for Aaron, obviously, but it seems to be the climax of the themes. I probably should say that instead. And it was a really important chapter, and it's on the cover, and Isayama wanted it to be the last page. So, it's a really important message that to the show and to, of course, the real world. So I'm very, very interested to see what they're gonna do. And guys, Mappa's been killing it with the skies recently. So when he says it's a beautiful day, I mean, I can only imagine what sort of day they're gonna make for that scene. So that's about it. I might, if I have more interesting or thoughts that are less shallow than this, I'll make a video. If not, I'll just leave it here. I was expecting to talk about some AOE stuff, because I was expecting the 138 thing to be at the beginning of the chapter. I was expecting it, and it wasn't certain, but I was expecting it. So I have nothing really to talk about. Some of you guys owe me money, and some of you guys owe me pictures. I can tell you that. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.